Yeah. वो आधे जीतना भूल जाता है, इसलिए आत्मबोध लेने की सोचा है. Because see, 2 years what we had been doing for years together, we forget in small thing. Similarly, in our life also, we have forgotten many things, so we start from the beginning. Adi Sankara's principles of the Vedanta is what we are going to start. That means let us rewind, start so that whatever we have forgotten, most of them will be repetition or beginning, many of them, but according to Acharya, according to Bhagavan, it is necessary to refresh minds, because one who is either supposed to practice it constantly. These are things which has to be a part of life. This I have always told that. It is not meant for whiling away the time or to listen and forget it just for entertainment. These are not meant for that. Because it is, why it is not entertainment? Is it not entertaining? It is entertaining, no doubt. But why then why did I say that? It is because it is serious entertainment. It's a serious entertainment. That is, when we have a life, when we are born, when we are taken birth, execution of karmas have become absolutely necessary. There is no escape from that for any jivatma for that matter. One has to undergo that, whether one likes it or not. So if you take that as an entertainment, it becomes a serious entertainment to get mokshatva from the absolute, from the living. So the living has to be taken as you seriously take an entertainment. You seriously take an entertainment, is it not? An entertainment is serious. When you go on holidays, or when you watch a movie, or when you do something which is entertaining, or a get together and things like that, how seriously you are involved. Each and every minutest particles, each and every minutest agenda you prepare before going on holidays. What time you will reach and who is to be contacted and which ticket has to be booked, who will do that time, mention my name, meticulous, no? So that you are not missing anything. In case you miss something, next what is to be done. Everything is documented. So that what's the purpose? So that you can have a serious entertainment. To be when you take the entertainment seriously, entertainment is pleasurable. Suppose you get stuck somewhere, go to Badrinath and Kedarnath during monsoon without planning. It's a landslide. Get stuck 3 days on the way. Either you can go up or you can come down. Or some calamity happens. What will happen? What happens? Your entertainment is lost. You are absolutely in suffering, not only serious, in suffering. An example of life, living. So, If living is taken as a serious entertainment, then it will be pleasurable. It should be planned. No. How do you plan them? Is what Bhagavan says here. Is it necessary? It is absolutely necessary. There is no question of doubt on that, or there is no question of choice for that, you see. If there is a choice, then only you can choose something else. No, there is no choice. You have only one choice, whether do it now or should I do it later. This is the only choice that you have got. That's all. So that you have to decide whether to do it now or whether to do it later. This is what Bhagavan is explaining here very well. So that once we understand this, then we know how to program, how to acquire that knowledge. First thing is that preparation. Anywhere you go also, anywhere you do, anything you do, anywhere you go, any holiday you go, first thing is that you have to prepare yourself. You have to have enough funds, enough travel documents, enough traveling facility, planning of traveling, and staying, where will you stay. All details minutely you have to work out before going, then only that actual happening, then you will experience that what you have planned. Then you will experience what you have planned. That's called karma. And this is called awareness. First is that bring the awareness, then execute the karma. Out of the karma, you derive knowledge, jnanam. Then you get mukti from that, from whatever you are supposed to do. This is the exact principle. So you look at it in that way. So that is why I said you have to take it as a serious entertainment, because living is absolutely necessary. And that, if I take it as entertainment, and I seriously plan it and then do an entertainment, then your life is wonderful. Then your Mukshatva is great. Then your experience is great. Karma is great. Karma bhala is great. Everything will become that. Otherwise, what will happen? Everything will become absurd. Not only the sufferings and not only the problems and sufferings, it also creates a bad karma phala on us too. The purpose of all these studies, all this knowing, initially it is starting with knowing. We have learned about the jnanam, jnayam, jnata. Jnanam, jnayam, jnata. Knowledge, knowing, and knower. This is the beginning of it. Unless one we know in the sense here it is awareness. Knowledge, knowing means awareness. The knowing, when it is put into action or karma, it becomes knowledge. That knowledge, if you contemplate and then establish the truth out of it, is called the consciousness, lower consciousness. Through the consciousness only you can go. From the lower, that is lower consciousness. Through that lower consciousness only you can try to attain the higher consciousness. And that higher consciousness is absolutely necessary in order to have completing the life agenda of the life, programming of living. Otherwise it is not complete. One is born, one has done so many things, one has died, again born, did something, and again died. So, and Shankaracharya beautifully from his thoughts, and wonderfully he has written there, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. It's a continuous chain. Keep on doing it. Then where is the end? Somewhere you have to break that loop. Take out the end out of it. Otherwise it will keep on going like that only. You have to change your track. What is that? That is where the teachings of Vedanta, Veda comes. Veda is that those knowledgeable people have written out the knowledge in the form of a language which can be understood by the people from time to time. Okay, sometime it was Sanskrit and it has been translated. It's okay, no problem. Some way or other, the purpose is that the person who would like to get the result out of it has to understand it, has to learn it, has to experience it, and has to establish that as the knowledge. Today, your knowledge is different. How to do this, how to do that, how to do this, how will I do this, how will I live, how will I go, how many problems I have got, how to solve it. We are entangled with all those things. We'll be talking about it. But Adi Sankaracharya, people like Adi Sankaracharya, who are the great saints, who are the incarnation of the Lord Himself, say that that is not like Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. For some time it is okay. Then you have to come out of that cycle of birth and death. You have to break that cycle. Then go to certain different track and then find out how to escape from going like, what's that? We say no that the bullock going round and round for making the oil from the oil. This is what I see from the grains. It is like that. Once you leave that, it cannot go straight because it is used only going round and round. Bhagavan says, no, that is not way. We have to understand at one point of time, fine, you have gone there for some time. You have been going around and trying to explore. Is this the possibility? Is this the possibility? Is that the possibility? Experimenting is nothing wrong, but you should know. At a point of time, you should know where, at what point of time you should be getting into the right track. That is absolutely necessary. That is why, even though, as I told you yesterday also, even though there are so many methods and so many mediums are available for knowing many things, that doesn't give us the ultimate result of the true way of living and experience of living and then liberation from that living. The purpose is that we should get liberation from that. Every work we are doing, I have repeated this number of times, but we have to tell down this way. It's better to brush it up. Whatever we are doing, we are trying to complete something or other. We are always saying that I have to finish that, I have to complete it, I have to complete it, I have to finish this, I have to give this, I have to take this, I have to complete it. Everything we are doing is for finishing it, not for continuing it. So living also we have to finish, not for continuing. Not for 7 janmas, 8 janmas. As somebody says, 7 janmas ka phal hai and all that. Do we have to unnecessarily waste our time for that? No. Like we are doing everything for completing it. Because our purpose of each and every activity is to complete. You are eating a meal not to complete the meal, not that you will keep on eating for 12 hours. You are sleeping in order to wake up. You are waking up in order to sleep. So, like this, we keep on working on everything in order to complete it. You should remember that. If I am doing anything and everything, if we are not completed certain things, we are uncomfortable. I tried my best, I could not complete, I break my head on that, even if it were a small thing. Yesterday I wanted to cut my nail. Probably you all must have worried about it at one point of time. Manicure, pedicure, or any cure, your mind cure. I could not do it yesterday. I could not do it. Why? Worried. Is it not? When we are not able to do something, we could not complete it, we are worried about. We are in suffering. That's what I am trying to tell you. When we are supposed to complete things, we are supposed to complete things. When we are unable to complete things, we are in suffering. That's called kashta and dukkha. From where the kashta and dukkha has come? From the karma phala, the kashta and dukkha has come. You are supposed to complete it. Let us forget about what is this. I'm not talking about the nail. I'm talking about the karma. If I am not able to do it, if I could not do it, I will not be in a position to complete it. When I am not completing it, I am in trouble, I am in suffering, I am worried about it. No, I could not do it. Now what should I do? If I could not do it for a number of days again, what should I do? How to do it? Who will help me? How? Right? Even though there are so many other things in our life which is important, but we are bogged down with that small thing that which has not been completed. There are so many other things which has been completed and we are supposed to undergo the experience, but we are at the back of behind that one small thing that could not be completed. Alright. And constantly we are suffering. Even though 99% of things or 90% of things are there, it is already done, which is there, which you have to execute, but those 10% or 1% which has not been completed, we are still on that. Yes, we should be still on that, there is nothing wrong in it, but we are suffering. That's what I am trying to tell you. I am not saying what should we do. I am saying that we are in suffering. There is a kashta and dukkha created by that karma because I have not completed what I am supposed to complete. So if that is the case, if I have not lived properly, if I have not could not live properly my life, I have not completed my living in the right way, I am suffering. That's why you are born with suffering sometimes. You know? In the next janma, you are born with suffering. So you see that before? By birth, he is in trouble. Some people we are telling, no? By birth he is by birth itself was a problem. After being born, so many diseases, so many problems, and then both life. What happened? They are all the backlogs of that. It's a continuation. It is not that Sharira is a continuation. Sharira is different, but our experiences and our living and our experiences are, it's a process of continuation. Even though we call it as past life, okay, only for the purpose of, because we identify ourselves, we identify the Sharira and Mana as the self, so automatically it has to be related to Sharira, is why that is known as past life and this is known as present life. This body, we are considering it as present life. The body which we were there in some time back, we consider it as a past life. Even though the experiences are continuous, the experiences are not, we cannot break it, we cannot complete it. That is why we say that which has not been completed, there is a sense behind. Many people don't believe in the past life and past karmas and things like that. That is their ignorance, I would say that, because it's a continuation. That's how the designing of the present life has been taken place. The initial designing of this life has been based on the previous life. Even though the experiencing that has to be done and exhausting those karmas which has been unfinished, we call it as prarabdha karma. And the ones, the technology technique that we are using in the present janma to exhaust them and create a better karma for future is called the sanchita karma. That we are expecting to be experienced is called the agami karma. Well, the agami karma is depending upon the sanchita karma, sanchita karma. That now what we are doing is called sanchita karma. This karma, for in order to execute this karma, why we did those mistakes, why we could not complete that, why we could not complete that life, or why we could not complete certain karmas in the previous life is because of my ignorance of not knowing how to do it. Opportunities are provided, facilities are provided, all the infrastructure is provided, everything is provided to you. But you could not complete it. You are supposed to complete it, that's why you have been given you have been given the infrastructure of the Sharira and Mana and intelligence, bodham, buddhi, capacity and all those things have been given. You have to utilize them and then function on that so that you will experience it. So your association should be, you may not know yourself, it's possible. But then you have got an intelligence given, you have got an associate. The association should be established. The association to such things, such matters, such people should be done so that you will do things in the right manner. This is called satsang. To be associated with the truth, this is sat. Truth is, this is what is truth? Truth is different from me and you for executing, as far as execution of karmas are concerned. So to be associated with that universal truth, to be associated with that universal truth, the one who knows about the universal truth or the universal truth, so that you will be directed towards the execution of the right way of execution of karma in your life. Many people ask how to do it. We have all sorts of associated wrong practice. Many of the things in this life is that we are trying to, either we try to by heart or we are trying to imitate somebody. We all try to imitate. But the imitation should be, if the imitation is with the satsang, then you are successful. But if you are imitating, we all imitate. That's the nature of the mind, you don't imitate. Nothing wrong, because we ourselves do not know things is why we are imitating. No? By doing like that, I will be like that. So, I would like to, this is subconsciously we are doing it. I would like to imitate. We have got ideologies, we have got individuals, we are programmed in mind, right or wrong. What is the purpose? Why we have that liking and disliking? Why we are becoming the followers of that individual? Is because I would like to become like that. So I would like to imitate. If you want to imitate, and we have to imitate, there's no other way. When a child is born, he's blind. Even though his previous knowledge is there, the consciousness is there, the subconsciousness is there, the lower consciousness, higher consciousness, everything is there. But unfortunately, these memories are not available. So in order to evoke and in order to start with the walking on the path, I have to follow. So even a child starts walking because he is seeing others are walking. No? A human child walks on his two legs because he is seeing his other people are walking like him. You must have seen a comic, I just suddenly remember. I used to watch also. Mowgli. Everybody must have seen that. He being a human, having brought up by an animal, they are all walking on four legs, so he also started walking on the four. Is it not? Imitation, you see. One day he found out that, somebody who has come and that he looks like me and that is walking on two legs. Then he started walking on two. Otherwise he was behaving like that. Why? Because his experiencing wanted to have the experience, his purpose, but where to start and how to start, we imitate something. That imitation has to be selective. That's what I'm saying. Even though he started with four, not because the animals are walking like that, he also started walking like that. And animals cannot teach him to walk on two until he saw one who is walking on two legs. Then he started. So what he has done? He did not still continue following the four, walking on the four. Having noticed and having identified, people like me should walk on those two legs. That is why this is provided, this is meant for something. He chose a path to rectify himself, the previous karma or the way of imitation. He has rectified his imitation and went into the right path, and then he became the human. I mean, something like that. No? Do you get related? This is what we should do in our life. I am born in this family, my circumstances were like that, but doesn't mean that I have to get stuck by that. I can be a great man. I can be a great knowledgeable person. I can be a saint. I can be a rishi. I can be absolute knowledgeable one who is a self-realizer. Adi Sankaracharya is also born in a small family like that. We are coming to that. So what is necessary? That imitation, even though that I don't have to get stuck by that. It is not that. I have to explore. The human being's mind is meant for always experimenting. He says that a man is a hunter. He is not satisfied. He keeps on hunting. What you should hunt? Not the bow and arrow hunting. Hunt for the knowledge. Till the time you get the right knowledge. Hunt. Keep on hunting. Aranya. Let it be in the forest of ignorance. Aranya. That's why. Brahat. Aranya. Upanishad's name is there. In Aranyam, you are in an Aranya, this forest. In the Aranya of the ignorance, you have to keep on hunting for the knowledge. Once you gain that knowledge, moksha is the purpose that we have to learn the process of knowledge, acquiring the knowledge, not just becoming aware of things. Somebody landed in moon is known to everybody now. How much of experience we have landing on moon? Except that we have seen some pictures. We don't have any experience of it. We don't have any knowledge of that. I am aware of it. Most of our things in our life is that kind of awareness. Just an awareness. I know it. And we forget. And after that, knowing it, we have hope. Ishavasya Upanishad. I heard it. When? About 10 years back. And what is that? That I don't remember. That's a status. What is it meant for? It's awareness. Yes, I have done it. Sometimes I know something is like that. Sometimes when I get listen to that, it's okay, familiar name and all that. But I don't know what it is. I have not experienced it because I have not contemplated it. I have not experienced it. What is the use of knowing that you have done the Upanishad, Suval Upanishad, and Vedas, and other Shastras, many Shastras? What's the use? What is the use? But you started practicing the same practices what you have been doing earlier and afterwards. Recently only I had been talking to somebody. What is your association? What kind of books are you reading? There are people, we have got always choice of books. Whenever you go for selecting the books in the bookshelf or in the bookstore, people who are interested in horror reading, they will select only those books. Most of their collection will be like that. Or some particular author you like, particular subjects you like history, he will always look for those books which are in the history. He doesn't look for other things. Depending upon your choice, you get associated with those things. And your knowledge will be based on that. What is that? First of all, those choices are okay. Sometimes you can have it, there is nothing wrong. But today it has become a problem, that there are so many people writing and so many subjects, especially on spirituality. Other things are okay. Some travelogue and things like that is alright. Somebody who is writing on the travel and food and then recipes and all that, that's okay, perfectly alright. But somebody writes about the spirituality and self-realization in the book, it becomes a big problem. That people get, attracted to that. Many of us, many people in this in the society, in the world, they think that what they are reading, they have got a particular choice, so they started reading. They get attracted to that particular subject, and you will find all the subjects what they are reading is related to that subject. It may look different, but internally you will find it is because he enjoys being there. Some people like horror movies. It's not the name itself horror, but somebody enjoys that, and he will see only horror movies, Dracula and this la and that la. I don't know the name. They enjoy it, They would like to see it before going to sleep, and in the sleep also they would like to see that horror movies, and next day morning they will trouble me. I am dreaming this Rakshasa in the night. What can I do? I tell them, no, change your association, satsang, because your sangat is with such subjects what you are reading. You knowingly or unknowingly in your subconsciousness, you establish that is right. And you start behaving like that. So the first step is that you have to change. No, this is not the way. Your association has to be changed. Satsang has to be. Truth and realities has to be understood. For entertainment, other things are okay. That's perfectly fine time to spend some time. But there are serious readers of what? Serious readers of all those fictions. And there are so many writers, so many authors, or most of the authors, or all the authors are writing only what they know. It is his opinion about that. It doesn't mean it is right. Then we have to find out whose opinion is right. Now I have chosen Adi Sankaracharya. This can never go wrong. An established practice. It can never go wrong. Time and again it has been there and contemplated in many things, and nobody could challenge. So that's the truth. This is the reality. Our association should be with such sangat. Sangat is not only with human beings. Starting from whom are we following? Whom are we imitating? Initially, every child imitates the parents. It is necessary, because that is where he starts. That's why the first guru is known as Mata. Mother is the first guru. Then only the father comes. Because most of the things, even in pregnancy, the child knows from the mother only. So mother is the first guru. Why am I saying all this? That we are imitating, and we have to imitate those, and we have to have association with satsang. That's why we have decided to start. At least sometime we will set up. We start thinking that what I am doing, what I am missing in my life. How should I orient my life? Okay, whatever has happened, lot of water has flown under the bridge, fine, gone. No, at least the rest of it, let me say, is what we have to keep. Not that we keep on Okay, we have lost it, we have lost it. Doesn't matter. What is lost is lost. What we have to go ahead. So, that imitation or satsang and the imitation are both are different ways. Have to remember the 4 points. Imitation, satsang, experiencing, that's called the dharma, knowledge, all these 4, Chaturvidya. All these 4 are meant for what? For mumukshasva, mukti, moksha, from the ignorance. Is what Adi Sankara is also telling. I have taken it from here. Shanti. He has named this as Atmabodha, Adi Sankaracharya, but this is the commentary by Sw.Chinmayananda. There are so many different. But the original Adi Sankara is also there. All the slokas, what is there is all original from Adi Sankaracharya. I have seen it, I have checked, rechecked back. Everything is good. Interpretation in different language. One is in Sanskrit, another is in English. In order to make the other people, common people understand that we have to do this now. This has been started. The purpose of starting this is the introduction starts from the introduction. Very important. Adi Sankaracharya, we all know that, but still we have to establish the regard, respect, the bhakti towards him in our mind in the beginning. Then only we will be in a position to understand what he is trying to tell us. For anything to start, that's why yesterday also I said that bhakti is important. Shraddha and bhakti is very important in order to acquire knowledge. Also, Shraddha and bhakti is necessary. Bhakti is that which makes us, even though it is an emotion, bhakti is an emotion, it's a bhava, bhakti bhava. Even though it's a bhakti bhava, an emotion, let us bring that emotion for the purpose of making me isolated from my ignorance to the knowledge. By bhakti, what we are doing? By bhakti, we are isolating ourselves from our unwanted or ignorant activities to something which is the absolute or absolute for the existence. Bhagavati. Forget everything. We say that while praying, don't think of all those things, just pray. In normal way also we are saying. Why it is that? It is because, what is the purpose? Purpose is that whether to be with the Bhagavan or not. But purpose is that I have to be away from the existence, the present circumstances and atmosphere is what is more important. Is why I am doing bhakti. When I am away from the activities of ignorant activities around me, I am in bhakti. Bhakti is not the bhava, even though we call it as bhakti bhava. Bhakti bhava is not practiced. If that is practiced, the pujari in the temple should be the greatest bhakta. So every day he does 8 pujas. Guruvayur and all, there are 8 pujas. 8 times. Very few temples, 8 pujas are done. That's complete. Some other are 6, some other are 4, some other are things like that, depending upon Guruvayur and all. That is 8 pujas. He should be the greatest knowledgeable person and he should have got the mukti immediately after some time of doing puja. Why? Shraddha and bhakti towards the Bhagavan has to be, even though he does it sincerely. The rituals he is doing it sincerely, he does all the chanting of mantras. I am not talking about an individual, I am talking about the characteristic of a bhakti, that's all. Don't compare with the pujari or something. Just for an example to understand, I said a pujari, that's all. Not necessarily a pujari, we ourselves are doing puja every day. The one who does a puja is a pujari, not necessarily who is in temple or in the house. What he does the ritual, that's all. Somehow or other you finish it. Lot of allowances are given. Sometimes when we have less time, we make the puja faster. When we have more time, we have got lengthier. That is not the way. Where has to be Shraddha and Bhakti is necessary. Why? Because Bhakti cannot be. What I am trying to tell you that if you are continuously doing it for so many years, it has to be a habit and it has to be automatically, should be right, and you have got a Bhakti Bhava evoked in you. No. Even at the age of the fag end of life also, he is unable to do that in the right manner. Why is it? Because that even though he had been practicing it day in and out, so doing karma is not experiencing altogether. It's not an equally that one. But doing karma with knowledge and with Shraddha and Bhakti only will yield the results of the karma phala which is right to, which is meant for Mumukshutva. So Bhakti, even though it is Bhava, Bhakti has to be done. Bhakti is done for the purpose of isolating ourselves from our normal activities where we have entangled, where we have got kashta and dukkha and this, that, lot of unwanted problems, and we are groping in the dark for finding solutions of many things. Is why we are doing the puja. Puja is not for pleasing the Lord. No? God needs only bhakti. That's what Bhagavan said in Bhagavad Gita in many places. He says that the bhakta's bhakti is more important. It's not the material that you are providing, or even the decoration that you are giving, or the bhog that you are giving, or the Vedam that you are providing, or the chanting that you are doing. Nothing of that matters. Bhagavan said that, no, what I want is only the bhakti of the bhakt. The true bhakti of the bhakt. That is what is necessary for you. So we have to reach towards that. No, all these other processes are all meant for reaching to that status. That's all. These are all in the beginning stages. Not even we are not even put our feet in the first step of bhakti. It's around that only. Still clearing the bushes around that. That's all. Once you put your feet down, up on the first step, you can see the other steps up and you can gradually climb. That means you will be in a position to get rid of, not getting relief, get rid of this ignorant activities around. And the understanding of the aham is totally different. This has to be brought in. Then only the bhakti is with Shraddha. That's called Shraddha and Bhakti. Shraddha and Bhakti goes together. Without Shraddha, Bhakti cannot be done. What is Shraddha? Shraddha is also. Shraddha is that. To be attentive, to be alert, to be attentive, to be executing only that what is required for the purpose of that intention, whatever you are doing, is called Shraddha. With that Shraddha only that will be. There has to be a complete acceptance. Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he was advising Swami Vivekananda. When he does the puja, he forgets everything. And when he does the puja to the Ma, he forgets everything. He forgets means people say that, oh, he's like madman. For others it is madness. But for him, it is bliss. He gets attached and attracted to only that truth. When he is on the truth, the fiction that is called the body and mind will look like mad only. Absolutely right. It's waste. Absolutely of no use. The consciousness has been connected to the higher consciousness. When it is done, this container of the unwanted emotions and indriyas is a waste because it is no more required. Is why it is a waste. No more required because that's the one he is causing all these problems. Because when the body and mind is there, we are attached and attracted to all these things. Because the body and mind will always look for its own selfish pleasure. I cannot allow it. I am accommodating you in my house. I am accommodating you for the purpose of activities, and you are commanding me, is what one should ask. The Antaratma is belonging to that. He is the one who has accommodated this for a particular purpose. But when he has acquired that, the mind and body started overpowering the Antaratma and start behaving as if they are the ones who are leading the life. We have to utilize the mind and body to execute the karmas. Not that they will direct us to execute the karma. Us means the Antaratma to execute the karma. So, Adi Shankara decided to write this book in order to express himself for the people who have to start understanding the Vedic knowledge, who have to start understanding the knowledge, who have to start understanding the Vedanta, through which alone he confirms, not only he, even Bhagavan confirms, Jnana Vijnana Yoga in Bhagavad Gita also, especially says also in the 18th chapter also, it specifically mentions only that through the Jnana alone, through the Bhakti, Jnanam is Bhakti. Bhakti is Jnanam at a point of time. We already talked in Upanishad class. There's no difference between that. When there is somebody to know about the Jnanam only, he is a Jnani, and the and the Jnani and the Jnanam is different at that point of time. The Bhakti and Bhakta is different. But when Bhakta merges with the Bhakti or Jnani merges with the Jnanam, there is no Bhakt, there is no Jnani, all become one. Ishwar Bhagavan. The knowledge, acquiring of knowledge or experiencing the knowledge is meant for that. All other knowledges created by the human being is only meant for awareness. It will not give you any muchatva. It will not give you self-realization. You can read about self-realization. You can understand about self-realization. You can imitate self-realization. You can copy and by heart self-realization, but you cannot have self-realization. So, they are only awareness that has been provided because they are based on the intelligence. Intelligence is only meant for executing karmas through the indriyas and emotions. That's where the intelligence is required. You do things intelligently, they say. No? That means use your intelligence, use your emotion, use your indriyas, use your knowledge, use your capability, use your environments, use your tools and tackles that has been provided for you for executing your karma in the right manner is called doing things intelligently. Right? In that, liberation is not coming. In that list, liberation is not there. But when you do, then why should I do it correctly? When you do it correctly, the purification in the mind takes place and you will be able to connect easily towards the higher consciousness. That purification takes place because you become disciplined. It's called discipline. Discipline is that using your intelligence, using your tools, using your indriyas, your mana, emotions and the activities in the right manner, these tools, intelligently, what happens? You discipline yourself. Oh, you discipline your mind to be doing things in the right manner. The mind gets characteristics. One is habit. Habit makes you characteristics. Doing everything, things done every day becomes a habit. And that habit will become your character. So ultimately you are known as that character. In order to change your character, your habit has to be changed. Then only the character can be changed. No? The habit has to be changed. So it starts from the changing of the habit. Intelligently you have to execute the karma, then only the character can be changed. We cannot say that, oh, uska swabhav hai, बोल के छोड़ देता है. That is his character. So we can't, that means ultimately I can't do, I raise my both hands, so it's his character, so I can't do anything. No, it's not like that. The character can be changed because character has been created by you, so you can change it also. Who has created the character? What's correct character? Swabhava. This Swabhava, which is there from the beginning, from the birth, I have certain Swabhava, but that Swabhava can be modified, and that Swabhava can be explored and exploited and rectified and modified to a great extent. This is how the habit. How the habit has to be created? The habit has to be created by, as I told you, from the mind using the indriyas and the emotions and the jnanam and knowledge, and then the environments and the tools and titles that has been provided for you to execute your karmas, utilize it in the right manner. How to utilize it in the right manner, you have to understand it. As I told you, this you may find in the literature, how to utilize it. But then you have to utilize it. That's why I said they are all awareness. Artificial intelligence or own intelligence, original intelligence, your intelligence, fictional intelligence, dreaming intelligence, whatever intelligence are there, they are all meant for awareness only, just like a dream, just like you are living, that's all. But in order to make yourself knowledgeable, so that knowledge which can, it is that's the key point in your life. That particular small key point, that's called the sutra, that's called rahasya, a small dot of knowledge. That small dot of rahasya has to be understood. We are all doing all these things in order to understand that. Once you understand that, the self-realization is done. Once the self-realization is done, then the mumukshutva is done. Mukti is done. Mumukshutva is the mukti from the karma, mukti from the ignorance is called mumukshutva. Because the purpose of life is that. We are not talking anything else. We are talking about the Veda, Vedanta, what is the way and what is the purpose of listening to Veda, Vedanta, why we are doing that, and what is the purpose of listening to Veda, Vedanta, what is the necessity? Is it absolutely necessary for a human? Yes, it is absolutely necessary for a human being. In order to establish that, we have to go through this. This you will get in Artificial Intelligence, the book, the shloka, the explanation, everything you will get. You can read it. When you read it, you are reading it, not I. No? You understood what I am saying before. No? When you are reading it, you are reading it with your emotion, your intelligence, your indriyas, your facilities, your faculty, your experience, no? Your awareness, your environment, your tools that is available with you, you understand that. That's called you are reading it. But you have to read it as I tell you. I in the sense, I am conscious, not me as a body. Like Adi Shankara said that you have to read it as he says. You will read the same thing as you say. You understand it because you have got somebody else. Depending upon, we have discussed about it, but still I am repeating because we have to register. We understand anything that is any written matter or any intelligent, any class for that matter, or any university lecture or any great man lecturing, great saint lecturing, great knowledgeable man lecturing, everything you will understand only not according to his knowledge level, according to my knowledge level. If I have to understand depending upon my knowledge level, why should I listen to him? Why should I read it? If I have to understand based on the my knowledge level, why should I read the book? Why should I learn? Why should I study? Why should I listen? Why should I listen to the pravachan? Why should I listen to the lecture? Whatever you call it. The pravachan is lecture. It's not necessary because I will understand based on that certain things here and there you will multiply. But then that also you will interpret it to your convenience. People said when there is calamities and things are done, they will immediately refer to Bhagavan Krishna also has used his Vishnu Chakra to kill Shishupala and many other places. He has used this, so he has used the weapon in order to kill. So if he can kill, why can't I kill? They will relate it to like that. It is not that they will take care of all this. This is how he understands. So he reflects to that understanding of his, not according to Bhagavan Krishna's the version. It is not that. So similarly, this has to be basically understand that what I understand is that based on my knowledge level. I don't want to get stuck in my knowledge level. That is not why I am spending so much of time and listening so much of attention and so much of precious time I am spending, not for understanding what I know. I would like to know what I don't know. For that your mind has to be kept open and free, that you should not interfere with what you know. Keep it under the lock and key, that what you know. Don't allow it to penetrate that what is going to be known, that unknown. Adi Sankaracharya says that here in certain words, is that he says that this scientist visualizes. Scientist means the one who is explaining the science of Veda. Here, what he means by that, the scientist. The scientist visualizes the world from his viewpoint of view, and he sees those facts and truths which are not visible to others. Others are not able to see that, so they don't know that whether it is right or wrong. But you should be in a position to understand that what you do not know. I don't have to tell you what you already know. What is the use of it? You know it. Why are you here? In order to know what you don't know. If you are here in order to know what you do not know, then whatever I am seeing and whatever I am explaining, you don't know. You are not seeing it. That has to be understood on that. That has to be interpreted. So he said that those facts and truths which are visible to not visible to others. Since he sees the visions which are not common property of all, in his languages he will have to use unconventional words which have for him some special imports and secret suggestions. If these extraordinary words are not rightly understood by the teacher and the taught, transfer of knowledge would be impossible. He has to use certain words which is not known to you or not acceptable to you or not aware of it at all. What? Brahman. Who is this Brahman is first of all question. Or what is this Brahman? Neither who nor what is applicable there because you want to know. That's why again, no? Your knowledge immediately is questioning, is Brahman there? If it is there, who is Brahman? If it is there, what is Brahman? Is what you are trying to understand. He says that this language you will have to get acquainted to and just establish yourself to be believing that truth so that he will take you towards that. The words that is used as a Brahman is not known to you, and you will never know. You will never know. Through the words and through the explanations, you will never know. He will take you to the Brahman, and once you realize the Brahman, then also you don't know what is Brahman. After realizing Brahman, you have become one with that, and you don't know it because there is no knower. Got it? So those words which have to be accepted, that's what he's telling. The teacher and taught has to know exactly these things are there. Then only the transmission of knowledge. Always, you will first step itself, you will say that, oh, Brahman, oh, ye kya hota hai, pata nahi. The whole thing, whatever I explained for for 1 year, will not go inside because you don't believe that what is Brahman and who is Brahman. Unless my knowledge, my limited knowledge, my indriyas and my eyes doesn't see Brahman, I will not believe it. You are stuck in that knowledge. That's all. You have to be prepared to go beyond your knowledge. You have the capability of knowing only up to certain limit according to your lower consciousness. What can be seen by your indriyas, seen, smell, taste, and sparsha and shravana, only that you believe. That only you say, this is that, what it is. Beyond that, whatever is there, you don't know. This is all what you know. And all the indriyas are, where are they situated? Instruments? In the physical body. And what are you going to learn? You're not going to learn about the anatomy of the body and physical body or the nature of the mind that you already know. You have learned it in schools. For that, Vedanta class is not required. Beyond that, from where you have got this knowledge of understanding, from where you have got this indriyas, from where the indriyas got the knowledge, from where your body started behaving like this, from where you started this shravana and then manana, analytical capacity of your mind, from where you got it, how are you able to see with the eyes? How are you able to smell with the nose? How are you able to taste with the tongue? How are you able to listen from the ear? How are you able to sparsha, to touch with the fingers? How? You know you are able to understand from the ear, eyes and sparsha and shravana and all that. How are you able to do that? How are these instruments functioning? Don't know. That's it. Yes, medical science will explain you the neurological system. Blood is flowing through that, energy is traveling through that. How is that blood flowing through that? How is that energy flowing through that? Is what. This is why I told an example, very simple thing. I will remind you if you remember. It's okay, but I remember. I think two great knowledgeable people were discussing about Brahman and then capabilities of him. So they were discussing. One is, let us call it as one is Ishvara, Bhagavan himself or equivalent to Bhagavan. The other person who was little ignorant about it. So Srishti, he said, no, what Bhagavan can do and what can do, cannot do. Lot of discussions were there, I can do. So the other man said, okay, I can also do it. Then he said, okay, you do one thing. You don't have to make a human being. At least we make a replica of human being without life also. So I know you cannot put life into it, but it's not very easy. I'm very good at it because he was a Kubar at one point of time. He made a beautiful human statue with a clay. So he said that, or he started making it, or he made it, or whatever it is. That's not important. When he started making it, he said, now look, Stop. He said, no, I'm going to do. See, look at that. Whatever I have made, he had kept it in the stock, So many things I have made. So he started making the clay. Stop. But there was a condition. You have to make something that of your own, not what I have made. Is what the condition is. So when he started making out of the clay, he said that, stop. The clay is made by me, not by you. It's what he said. Something like that. The clay is also made by me only. You are making out of what I made from that. I made that. I made the clay. And you are taking it and making it. So this is what exactly it is. How you understand. Your limitations of understanding is based on the lower consciousness and then through which the intelligence and the indriyas are functioning. Indriyas are not functioning automatically. We call it as automatically. Or the doctor can say, who has learned the anatomy of the body or learned the medical science, can explain it that how it is functioning. But how? Who has provided this capability of functioning? How can you see with the eyes? He can say how the eyes are functioning, how this can be rectified if it goes wrong, or how it can be replaced. Everything can be told. But how the eye is functioning, what is the basic point through which the eyes are functioning, that cannot be told. For that, Prakasham in the light, in the eyes have been provided by the Antaratma, who is a Brahman. The energy that flowing in the nervous system to make you understand is provided by that which is an invisible or inaudible, invisible, inexperiential or unseen, which is he said that beyond the visibility of others. That is the one which is provided. That we have to understand first of all. Then only we will be in a position to understand that there is something which I do. There are so many things which I do not know. My limitations of knowledge is only up to this, up to my intelligence and to my yes. So you have to listen to it. So by reading, or by understanding, by listening to, or by any experiment of artificial intelligence and other things you making yourself aware will not make you understand about the higher consciousness. You can only be aware of it. That is all. So Bhagavan says that this is how you have to understand. So when Adi Sankaracharya, as you all know him, still we should remember and pay our respects to him. We know that he has been born in a family where his father was a saintly person. He was an acharya, teaching others, teaching other boys and other people the Vedas and Vedic chanting and Vedic mantras, also explaining about the Upanishads and Vedas and things like that. Mother, a pious lady who is taking care of them. Only son, is from the young age only, from small as 1 year or 2 year only, because he has been, as I told you, imitation. Now, luckily, wonderfully, he has been born. Why he has been born there is because of his previous life's karma phala. He was born into that family. That's also there. Why we are born into certain families? Because of our karma phalas in order to experience. Because of his karma phala, he being a saint or he being an incarnation or whatever it is, he has been born to those pious, wonderful, great, honorable parents of his, whom he can imitate from childhood. Because as a child, he has to imitate. He imitated his child, his father and his mother, who are very pious and learned in the sense, knowledgeable. He knows the Atma Tattva, he knows the Brahma Tattva, he knows the Brahma Jnana. When he was at the age of 7 or 8, father said, so, how knowledgeable they are, you see. They knew that. That's why the knowledge I said no. He knew that when I am going to die. I am going to leave this body and go away. So he told his son, so sit by my side. Lie down there, left his body. This is knowledge. This cannot be done by awareness. And this, he has not done it. But he knows that. He knows his prana will be leaving at this and this time. What will happen to me? That means what will happen to my Atma? That's called self-realization. When the realization of the Atma has been understood, the knowledge has been, what he has become, there is a difference. One is that he is knowledgeable. No, he is knowledge. The one who is knowledgeable will know about it, will be an awareness. He being knowledge, he has confirmed and established that I am going. So he lied down and then left his body, and the son was witnessing. He went and told mother, come and brush. So in the front only, the houses are like that. They got a dais like a place where they sit for meeting and all that. Mother will be inside. He called mother, said that father told me this, that he is leaving his body and going. He didn't know what is death because he's 2-year-old or 6-year-old child at that time. He said he is leaving the body and gone. So okay, all the rituals are done. And then he started practicing what his father, he had imitated his father initially. Then he developed himself from that imitation, changed that imitation. He did not remain there as his father and Acharya to teaching others alone. No. He modified from that imitation, he modified step one. But that was the substratum. So from there he has changed himself. Then when he has changed to a certain age, at 7 years, 8 years, he told the mother, he requested the mother, I want one thing. Normally children ask for toys and food and things like that. He said that, give me permission to become a sannyasi. Only thing I want. Now you can imagine what a mother can say. Or any other mother. This is not the age for you to take sannyas. You have a lot of things to do. So that I have done a lot of things. I want only this permission from you. I don't want anything. I don't want food. I don't want clothes. I don't want any of these things. I don't want that because I know my father, this. She was reluctant. Ultimately, he decided to force him. Force her. Being, they say, being an incarnation. Well, I can only repeat what others have told. Being a reincarnation, he created a situation, or the higher consciousness has created a situation, let me put it that way. Through Shankara, he jumped into the flooding river, full because of the rainy season, full flooded river, overflowing river, swam across, and then the children, his colleagues, his friends who playing with him, went and told the mother that, look, Adi Shankara has swam across the river and he's trying to come back, but there is flood and there is a lot of calamities. She goes to the bank of the river and then saw that there is a crocodile. All the children, all the people were scared and shouting that the crocodile, no boating coming. And Adi Shankara swimming back to come to the mother. On one side flood, on one side this. The crocodile almost nearer to Shankara. At that point of time, 8 years old boy, 9 years old boy, 8 years old boy. 8 years old, yes. Shouting to mother, you can see the mother standing, mother could see mother wailing and crying, shouting that, oh please help, somebody come and save him and all that. And the young Shankara shouting from there, mother, now I am going to die, it is the last time. I have only one wish in my life. You grant me permission to be a sannyasi. Maybe in the next life I will do that according to you. The last wish is that. So you please do that immediately. There is no time. See, this fellow is coming. The flood waters are taking me. Where is the escape? Mother said, okay, I gave you permission. You become a sannyasi. You can go right now. No problem. According to the answer, it may be true or no, I cannot tell you, but according to the the documents provided, the flood has come down, the crocodile vanished, nothing like that. And then he swam across. Now you cannot go back from your words. I'm going. Next day morning, along with one of his friends. And rest of the story I have already told you so many times. You also have seen. One movie is there, Adi Sankara. You have seen it. Where he has become the great Acharya at the age of 32, he attained the Samadhi. From 9 years to 32 years, his association, his satsang, was only with the Parabrahman. Talking Parabrahman, sleeping Parabrahman, eating Parabrahman, and seeing Parabrahman, walking Parabrahman. Everything what he does is based on the Brahma Tattva. Even what he bathes based on the Brahma Tattva. He eats based on the Brahma Tattva. He sleeps based on the Brahma Tattva. We know many stories that what happened in his life. That is who he is, the one who has telling us. He is the one who is telling us who is a living example or living example of God. He was that. He is the one who is telling this to us to follow. Should we pay respects to him or not? Yes. So he starts that. He says that this book I am introducing for the beginners so that they should know what is the importance of it. Unless you know the importance of it, you will not be able to practice it. So he says that the Acharya, our teacher and the taught has to understand that which is beyond something has to be believed on. And we have to depend beyond that our knowledge, because our knowledge cannot perceive those which are not experienced by us. We know only what we have experienced through a number of janmas. It's not necessarily only in this janma. Number of janmas, that only we know. But that's all based on the objective understanding. The subjective understanding also, there are acharyas, people like teachers and people like Adi Sankaracharya and all that. In the previous life itself, they had been in the realm of the absolute Brahman or Brahma Tattva Brahma Jnanam, the path of the Brahma Tattva Brahma Jnanam. So they are aware of it. They will continue their karma in this janma through this path. Others will be led by them. So he says that. Therefore, every textbook of science, the first few chapters describe about the categories. He says about the categories. So that is why he called these granthas are prakarana grantha. Prakarana grantha. The others are shastras. Vedas, Vedantas, and they are all shastras. This is Prakarana Grantha, that Grantha. The Prakarana Grantha is not Shastra, but telling how you should understand the Shastra, how you should execute the Shastras is Prakaranam. Prakarana Grantha. The classification of Prakarana, we will be talking about it. Prakarana Grantha. He begins with I think the second paragraph he begins. I would like to read in between his, because being introduction somebody, so I would like to read some of the important things to you and explain. Sufferings and sorrows, he starts beginning from there. His beginning is from there. Sufferings and sorrows form a part of life's games, he says. See how he beautifully placed it. He said it's a game. That's why I told you, no? How we have to understand the holiday programming. Serious entertainment. Sufferings and sorrows form the part of life's game. There is none who has not undergone pressing agonies in his own day-to-day life, either physically, mentally, or emotionally. Yet, nobody seems to invite them anymore. We invite them. Yesterday we saw a movie. Next movie, okay. When is the next movie? Next Friday will change. Okay, I will come for next Saturday. We will invite, that desire. We keep desire, our desires are invited. But here, sufferings and sorrows, we never invite. Even though we don't invite, why are they coming to us? Is his question. I do not want them. In fact, on the life he says that, in fact, whatever we do is to avoid as far as possible this aspect of life coming in contact with us. The more we want to escape the cruel jaws, the more it takes an endless variety of subtler and sharper ways of attacking us. The sorrows and sufferings. We are not inviting sorrows and sufferings. You got intelligence, no? You all say that, no, I got intelligence. I am doing what I think right. We all use this word. No, I do what I like. Don't influence me. Don't try to. I don't want to imitate you. I don't want to be influenced. Okay, fine. I accept. Why are you having sufferings and sorrows? You have invited that. Is that your intelligence? Why your intelligence is not able to remove your sorrows and sufferings? Why you are such great capability of yours, great man, with great honor, with great education, with great wealth, with great power, with great efficiency, with great understanding, with great leading power, leader. Why you are not able to stop inviting, let me put it that way according to Adi Sankaracharya, stop inviting sufferings and sorrows. Why? Many other occasions you say that I do it, I can do it. He doesn't understand anything you are talking about. But I know what is that. I know. I will manage it, you don't worry. No. I understand. No, please don't bother about it. I understand. I will do it. I can handle it, I can. I know. I know the doctor is wrong. I know the Acharya is wrong. I know the Guru is wrong. I know the Maharishi is wrong. I know the Brahma Tattva is wrong. Fine, no problem. That means you knowingly invited sorrows and sufferings because you know everything. You also invited sorrows and sufferings. You also know about sorrows and sufferings. That's why you got sufferings and sorrows. No? But with all these things also, you got sorrows and sufferings, is it not? And you are also saying that I don't want it. Then use. You got consciousness, you got knowledge. You are saying you got knowledge, you got capability, you got efficiency, you got influence, you got this, that, and all that. But then, small thing, small suffering, small sorrow. Avoid it. No. We have to look around throughout the world in order to find out a solution. You remember I spoke in Bh.Aadi, finding out solutions. Throughout our life, we all look for solutions for our sufferings and sorrows. That's all. And sufferings and sorrows keep flowing like a like a flooded river, incessant flow. Sufferings and sorrows continuously and incessant search for the solutions for that. We are flowing along with that and finding, trying to find out. So where it is coming, sometimes trying to swim upstream, sometimes swim along with the river downstream, sometimes across, trying to find out solutions, but sufferings and sorrows keep coming, forcing into your house, but with all your capabilities, all your intelligence, you could not stop it. Why you could not stop it? You got intelligence, you are claiming that you are very capable, you are self-sufficient, you are that, you are this, you are this. Small thing Shankaracharya is asking, why don't you try to stop suffering, sorrows and sufferings with all that what you got? No. That time we have to ask, Hey Bhagwan, why have you chosen me to have sufferings and sorrows? All other things are yours. Sorrows and sufferings is the property of the Bhagwan who once in a while lets it out towards you. Like ration or card le jayega, he will write it down there. So many grams of sufferings has been given to so and so. Please bring it next month, I'll fill it up again. Ration. So let us discuss about the next filling of ration card. Next class. Chabbo.